Hey, I want to talk about something that I keep coming across pretty frequently on social media, and it seems to be literally everywhere I go. I really disagree with the whole pressure of you need to find yourself, and it's like an obligation. And I'm surprised that the rhetoric is being so pushed. You may not even realize it, but subconsciously, indirectly, it might be sitting in the back of your mind. But what is there to find, really? People tell you to find yourself, but what if there's nothing to find? What am I even supposed to be searching for? That is the question for today. By the way, it's really cold, and I'm running out of turtlenecks to wear for my videos, so I hope I don't freeze by the time I finish this yapping session of mine. So let me give this actual context within philosophy, and don't worry, it will be comprehensive. I'm a casual reader and I just enjoy philosophy on the surface. I try to give the ideas meaning and practical applications. So philosophy actually describes this need for finding yourself by two main interpretations of the meaning of life. One says that there's a predetermined purpose, either DNA or some sort of a calling, that you need to find. And so you work pretty much your whole life towards it in a very abstract way because you're not really sure, like, what is it that you're looking for? If that resonates with you, essentialism might be what you're looking for. So I suggest the works of Plato and Socrates then. The other, represented by Sartre and Camus, is existentialism. And it is quite the opposite. It insists that you must invent purpose in an otherwise meaningless world. It's your personal responsibility and duty, and you're the architect of your own fate and your own happiness. I like to take a piece from both of them, actually. It's quite odd because they represent two completely opposite ideas, but hey, who cares? I don't think you need to pick a side and stick to it strictly. You can take something from each one. Amor fati, from Latin, means love of fate, and this Stoic rhetoric is essentialism, and it encourages you to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly, and accept them rather than resist them. But at the same time, I don't like to sit around. Maybe I'm naive, but I try to fight the unfightable sometimes. And maybe you find yourself doing that too, and that's just how we are. Now, back to the finding yourself rhetoric. No matter what kind of fate you believe in, whether it's predetermined or if you're the architect of it, during this process, don't forget that your worth is not defined by a set of criteria. Expectations from friends, family, and social media standards don't define you as a whole person. There is no single point of peak personality for a certain phase of life. It might seem like it, but most of the time it happens naturally, and you only realize that it was the peak once it already happened, and you won't even know. It might sound silly and obvious, but think about the comparison to others. Maybe envy starts to settle in. You start to really want something or to achieve something, and that becomes your number one goal. You're laser focused on it. Once I get this, then I'll be happy and satisfied. And I think it's a bit of a loophole. It gives you a false sense of fulfillment and direction, but the greed inside doesn't really stop. There's always more. Always. And if that desire doesn't come from you, it will come from somebody else, from society, from people around you. There will always be someone telling you how you should be behaving, what you should be achieving, etc., and putting all sorts of labels and projections on you. But you live to constantly evolve, discover new things, experiment, give yourself that permission to change. You're pretty much the reflection of everything you've ever loved, every person you met. You're like a lifelong museum. It's a never-ending process of creating yourself. So I try not to fixate on the need to discover too much, and I realize I don't need to have a fixated identity. To chase this abstract goal of finding yourself is really difficult. To me, it seems like I don't even know what I'm supposed to find and when. What does finding yourself even really mean? So the way I try to approach it is experiment, evolve, go do something that seems off track, and create yourself rather than try to constantly find yourself. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. There's joy to be found in the smallest things. It doesn't have to be grand and glamour. It can be anything from cooking to taking care of plants, having a laugh with your friends, or just sitting in the sun and reading a book. Whatever makes you, you. And I really like the museum metaphor. You pretty much collect pieces, and that's what creates you. You don't fixate to find one or two pieces your whole life, because you might never even find them, and you miss the opportunity to collect all the others. At least that's how I see it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this video. I tried to not make it like one of those videos where people explain their opinion and tell you that, yeah, this is what you should do, this is how you should think. If it did seem like it in some parts, I advocate more for the approach of self-reflection. You know what's best for you. I don't, and I just want to share my view and give you something to think about. New perspective, maybe. For videos like these, I write a semi-script in my journal. So it's like a journal entry, and then talk about it. And I have quite a few topics noted down, so stay tuned. Take care, and goodbye.